about Perusall, which is an application that enables collaborative reading. And it's an application I've been using this semester with a lot of great success. So Perusall is a website. It's an application that fosters collaborative, engaged reading. You upload your course materials, everything from OERs to textbooks to articles, PDFs. Whatever you're going to upload, you create a library, you create assignments, and then what happens is your students work together to annotate, to take notes, and to discuss readings. So I've used this in my courses to replace discussion boards, but I've also used it to assign reading and engagement scores to kind of track student engagement. So Perusall has been really great for my classes. It creates a collaborative learning environment. It tracks student engagement. It means that I can, at a glance, see who's opened the textbook, who's looked through it, how much time they've spent reading it, whether they've left notes. The thing I really love about it is it allows for easier response and discussion. I'm much more easily able to respond to students and get a discussion going. And the other really great thing is students will respond to one another. They will answer questions before I even get to them. It fosters critical thinking because it does require that your annotations are substantive. You can integrate multimedia resources, so you could integrate a YouTube video or a short lecture and have students respond to it and take notes. And it's really great because it's OER compatible. In fact, I've used it to be the way that I deploy my OER in my courses. So I did some surveys, mid-semester surveys with my students because I wanted to see what their experience was like. And I was really happy to see that in most of my classes, most students thought it was very easy to access the readings through the Perusall website, because they don't want to have any other stumbling blocks in their way just trying to get to the materials. But the thing that I was really excited about is that it did seem to increase engagement. In fact, over the course of the 3 courses I teach, so this is 1010, 1320, and 1340, half of the students or more said that they prefer Perusall interactive reading over just a regular ebook. More importantly, when I asked them if they read the textbook more because it's now required for a grade, an overwhelming majority of them said yes, they do, or they thought maybe they did. So very, very few did not think that they read the textbook more. So this made me really, really encouraged to think that this is a great application that actually is successful with the students. So there are some pros and cons with Perusall. I love that it's free. There are no subscriptions or payments. It was designed by educators with kind of free access in mind, but also with student privacy in mind. I love that it does not add to my grading burden. It evaluates student engagement for me based on the algorithm and the qualities that I put in. It can be integrated into Canvas. There's a way to get it to automatically populate your Canvas gradebook. And like I said, it's so much easier to directly engage with students through this application than through a message board. Some cons, the Canvas integration has been a little bit clunky. It sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. So I think in the future, I would leave it separate and just update their final Perusall grade into Canvas at the end of the semester. And students don't love that I'm now requiring active reading. So let's take a look at the website and I'll kind of show you some different parts. When you go to perusall.com, it's just perusall.com, you can learn all about the different features. You can do a demonstration. It'll tell you about how it uses kind of a social networking approach, and it provides you with lots of data about how things are going, which is really true. I can kind of see the point in the semester where the reading starts to drop off, and that does correlate with worse project scores. But let me show you. I'm actually going to do a demo. So that you can kind of see the whole thing. So when you go into Perusall, what you'll do is you'll set up a library. You'll upload the library, as many sources as you want, and I'll show you mine in just a minute. You can upload the syllabus and have students annotate and read the syllabus actively. And students can go directly to the library and open up the textbook. When they open up the textbook, there's all of these little icons on the right, so they can look at the current conversation. They can look through all the conversations, anything that's starred, they can put stars on. any notifications. So anyone that tags them will pop up there. They can put bookmarks, they can leave notes, or they can have it read aloud. Perusall really does try to be accessible in lots of different ways. So it's super, super easy to use. All you have to do is you simply highlight. It'll tell you you can't highlight that much if you're being kind of ridiculous about your highlighting. But if you highlight a small amount, you'll be able to leave a comment. You can @ someone in the class if you would like them to specifically answer you. There's a lot of different other options. You can make anonymous comments. They can insert a link if they want to include a website that they think would be helpful. I've had students insert a poll like, what do you guys think about this? You can use emojis, code snippets. It's super easy if you've used any kind of, web app to type. It's exactly like that. And if you leave a question, it will pop up as a question so that when I look at everything, it will look like a question. Like I said, the notifications will pop up so that you can have one-on-one chats with students. The assignments, you link by date and they can open the assignment. They'll be able to see their overall assignment progress, including what they have to do to get through it, and you can choose how much of that to show. You can set up hashtags or let them set up hashtags. There's a lot of different ways to go through this website. So let me take you into my own Perusall. I'm going to take you into like an older one. So some great things that I can see, for instance, is early on in the semester, I posted, what to expect from an online course, and students had to read and annotate. It was kind of the introductory one. It's really, really easy to kind of see if there's questions. You can go straight to the questions, and then I'm able to answer those questions directly. Although a lot of times other students will, you can see here, like somebody said, I feel most people will be able to do well, and then someone answered them, I think so. So the thing I've been really encouraged about is students will often talk to each other, help each other, and answer each other's questions. When you go to the course home, you can see that there's a lot of different weeks. You can edit any of the assignments really easily. I'm able to see the analytics. So you can say, okay, when do people turn things in? Are they doing it at the last minute? Are they doing it right away? I can look at a student activity report that tells me, how many responses, how many annotations per student, if I'm interested in that. Mostly what I'm really interested in, though, is that students are reading. It'll give me a confusion report if students seem to be confused about a topic. You're always able to see a student view, leave notes, and then there's all sorts of library. But really, the thing that I love about this is it's so easy to have a conversation. Let me see if I can find. So that when you go to the individual parts of the textbook, this is a defunct class, so it doesn't have quite as much, you can see where students are having issues and where they're not having issues. So as I said, I think Perusall is a really helpful platform. The thing that has surprised me is how much it does help students see that the reading that they do really does contribute to their success in the class. I like that I can really quickly and really easily go through these. It takes me much less time, but I actually can get more engaged in the discussions than I could on the discussion board, where each thread was kind of its own separate thing. And the nice thing is students are able to kind of click through. Let me show you this one. So students are also able to click through these discussions. They see this kind of the same way. So they can go directly to the ones that I've highlighted as, exceptionally interesting. I can highlight them to give them extra credit if I want to. I can star them if I want to, but I think it's also a lot easier for students to engage with one another than it was in the discussion boards. So if you ever have any questions, I'm happy to help with it, but I hope that this has kind of given you one way to think about integrating your readings a little bit differently in your course.